Have you ever been in your doctor's office and you're as confused to why as your doctor tells you to shut up while they strap a torture device to your arm? What are they even listening for? Hi, I'm Duncan. I'm going to be showing y'all how to take blood pressure today and why it's important for you to really listen to your doctor when they tell you to shh. Blood pressure is important. It tells you an overall stat of your heart health. High blood pressure can lead to stroke, heart disease, and even heart failure at the worst. Blood pressure is exactly what it sounds like. It is pressure in your veins.
But Duncan, I don't care about what blood pressure is. I just want to know why my nice doctor keeps telling me to shut up all the time.
And what I say to that is, dude, calm the Jesus, patience, am I right? First, what we want to do is we want to gather our supplies. That first being a universal blood pressure cuff. Different people may require different size blood pressure cuffs, but our patient here, a universal one should work just fine. Secondly, a stethoscope. I have a pretty nice stethoscope here, though. A lot of times, the stethoscope that comes with blood pressure cuffs will probably work just as fine. Third, we need our patient, Jackie boy here. We're first going to ask our patient, hey, what side do you want me to take your blood pressure on?
I guess we can do my left arm.
Left one, great. The reason why we ask our patient which side we want to do their blood pressure on is because some people have birth control implants when it's really important that you don't do blood pressure on birth control implants. And secondly, a lot of times people have very finicky veins and some people just have very quiet things. People often know their own medical history, so you always ask just to be sure. So for Jack here, we're going to do it on his left side. A lot of times we'll, palm up please. He's gonna put his left arm on my left leg. So, and we're gonna palm up and we're going to slip the blood pressure cuff onto his arm. Now that we've got the blood pressure cuff onto our patient, the blood pressure cuff, they normally have a little indicator on the arm. This indicator, you want it to be about an inch up above the middle of the elbow pit of your patient's arm. You're next gonna take your stethoscope, and you're gonna put it in your ear so you can listen, and you're gonna take the head of the stethoscope and you're gonna push it right under the lip where that marker is, and that's where you're gonna listen. I'm just showing you that right now so that when we get to that part, you know what I'm doing and I'm not throwing you off guard. We are now going to listen. We're now gonna take into account two different pressure numbers. That is your blood pressure. That first number being your top number, which is your systolic blood pressure. And what you're first gonna do is you're gonna pump up your cuff up to about 160 millimeters per mercury. And you're gonna start slowly releasing pressure until on the gauge, when you start first hearing a heartbeat. That is your first number. Your second number is when on the pressure gauge, you hear the last possible audible heartbeat. That is your second number. So take, for instance, 110 over 75. The first number, 110. On the pressure gauge, that's where you will first hear the heartbeat, is 110. The second number, 75, is while you're releasing pressure, that is when you last hear the possible heartbeat. So those are your two numbers. All right, let's get into it. So what we're gonna first do, as I've already told you, is we're gonna pump it up to 160 millimeters per mercury. And we're gonna slowly turn this dial to the left to start slowly releasing pressure. And you're gonna wait until you first hear a bump. Oh, I just heard it right there. I heard it at 110, so I'm gonna first record that in my brain. Oh, and there's the last one. I heard a last beat at 75. So those are the two numbers we are looking for. What we're looking for is that 110 over that 75, which is, essentially what I said earlier. This guy's got pretty good blood pressure. I was expecting it to be higher because we're college students and we're always stressed. And don't you have like 8 hours of homework due this weekend? Yeah, we're hurting, but it's all right. But yeah, that is essentially what you're looking for. You're just looking for those two numbers. That is why it's so important you be quiet. Your doctor is trying to mentally record numbers, what they're hearing, what they're thinking, whether it's in the right range. Because if you think you hear a false positive, you get really confused. That's why sometimes they might take it twice. But that's why it's really important for you to stay quiet while your doctor's taking your blood pressure. I remember when I was learning blood pressure, me and my friends would always go to another friend of ours, Amber's, because her veins were so loud. Sometimes it's great if you find someone with just the loudest veins when you start learning, because it just makes everything a bit more clear. So I would definitely suggest finding a partner when you're learning that has really loud veins. All right, let's get you out of here. All right, let's get you set up with your next appointment. How's your day going?
Well, you come here often? Pretty often. Cool.